You didn't become a realtor to work 60 hours a week with no days off, spend all your time showing houses, stuck in the hamster wheel of transactional real estate, did you? I didn't think you did. So here's what we're going to talk about. Now that the market is slow, you have the gift of time. You're going to learn in this video how to use the time that you have in a down market to start to plan your escape from the hustle of transactional real estate and build a business that can run with or without you. Tune into this video. Okay, so here is the transactional real estate trap, and I'm glad to talk about it. This is how I built my business as the CEO of real estate. If you're new here, my name is Keyla Cowan. I help people build a business that funds, not runs their life. Here is the reality. Most agents are just working a job with no leverage. When they got into real estate, they had the mindset of trading time for money. But when you come into real estate, you're still trading time for money if you're transactional. You only make money when deals close. Every month starts at zero and you got to go into work mode, go mode to keep your pipeline full. Here's what I want you to experience, and here's what I've been able to experience. I've been able to go on vacation for 8 weeks and still have 5 or 6 transactions closed in that 8 weeks. Why? Because I systematized my business in a way that made it passive, made it scalable. I created ancillary businesses with the profit from my business, which means that I had to start paying attention to those things on the back end. Why? Because really, as an entrepreneur, especially in real estate, we're buying our time back. And we have to make sure we're paying good attention to that. So what I want you to do is understand that you got into business, real estate, especially probably for time freedom, but you're not experiencing that. That can change, especially in a down market, because you have the ability to now build something that's scalable. So now let's talk about how we're going to help you make the transition from salesperson to CEO. Okay, so now that we understand that we are making the transition from salesperson to CEO, here's what I want you to do. Understand that a down market is the perfect time to make the shift. It is the perfect time to make the mindset shift. It is the perfect time to make the skill set shift. During a down market, you have the gift of training at another level because you're not going to have as many distractions in a down market because transactions are moving slow. You have to begin to prepare for your next level through training. That means you are going to start reading books, paying attention to things that promote business ownership, salesperson to CEO kind of conversations where you're starting to have conversations about how to create ancillary products. Ancillary products like opening a mortgage company, opening a title company, so that when you close a transaction, instead of just getting a commission check, you get a mortgage check, you get a title check, you get a transaction management check. And these are the things that start to pull you out of the business so that the business can start to run with you, without you. So we want to start to create evergreen marketing systems. That's the first thing that we're going to do. Create evergreen marketing systems. What does that look like? Glad you asked. You're going to build lead magnets that work 24/7. Let me tell you what a lead magnet is. And if you, I have a couple of videos about that as well, but free guides, seller checklists, buyer webinars. You can start to create things that draw people into your world so that now, while you're sleeping, you can run ads and those things can pull in leads for you so you don't have to spend all of your time picking up the phone. Will you still need to pick up the phone? Absolutely, because even when you bring the leads in, sales is a matter of conversion. So you're going to have to know how to have conversations that convert, but because you have the time in a down market to have trainings, you're going to pivot those things to be exceptionally great in your favor because you're going to develop the skill set to be better at that. So when you create an evergreen marketing strategy, you're going to use things like Instagram and Facebook ads to put your lead generation on autopilot. The first system that you have to create in your business is a lead generation system. When you put that first system on autopilot, you automatically give yourself about 30 to 40% of your time back. This is why the traditional transactional real estate model does not work. This is why I created the CEO of real estate and the blueprint coaching model to help you begin to build the stuff on the back end, because money without the time to enjoy it means nothing. The next thing you want to do is build or refine your database. It is a must. Hear me when I say this, your database is your business. If you are in business, whatever brokerage you are at, you don't own any real estate there, you don't own anything there. If you were to leave that brokerage, the only thing you're taking with you is your database. Your database is your business. Your database is also the source of big money. I need you to understand that. The database is big money. Because of that, I need you to treat it like a bank. There's going to be a link in here for my database course. It is insane. It will show you how to look at your database as a funding source to your business. And then you'll start to build it up like that. But you want to start to segment leads, past clients, sphere, Mets, not Mets, buyers, sellers, investors. And you want to start to now begin consistent automated nurturing, emails, texts, retargeting ads to those specific demographics. Why? Because it'll help aid in the conversion of those clients. Real estate is a relationship driven business. The database is where you build your relationships consistently. That's what CRM stands for, customer relationship manager. It actually helps you build your business. Then the next one is leverage. You need help. Create systems, employ tools, get people to help. Start documenting your processes and developing SOPs during the downtime. That's the time for you to write everything down. I have a VA and I am training him to do other things to support me. And what I did yesterday was I had him on a call and I said, you take notes for everything that I'm telling you. He sent me the notes. We're documenting them, putting them in SOPs so that that can always and forever be somebody else's job. I'm talking about getting you out of a place where you always feel anxious about where your next deal is coming from, because everything begins and ends with you. That's not a business. A business does not have the sole identity of the business owner. Walmart belongs to Sam Walton. That's his creative genius, but it doesn't mirror Sam Walton. It has grown to become something else. And as an agent, your first 2 years are going to be spent building your business, but you should also on the back end be developing systems that eventually pull you out of the business. So here's where the gap is, the mindset, right? We got to stop thinking like hustlers. And this is what I'm saying. When it's down, hustlers feel like I got to hustle. That's not how business owners feel. When it's down, business owners are like, oh my God, this is great. I have the opportunity to build an infrastructure on the back end when the market is quiet, understanding that my future business is going to be set up by the things that I do today. So while you have this market, use the time to slow down and actually build something sustainable, something that's process oriented, something that you can leverage and use to grow for years. So now that we have that information out the way, how do we do that? Like, if you heard this information and you feel provoked to do something different, like, how do I get to my next step? Start by mapping out what your ideal work week looks like. How many hours do you want to work? What tasks would you want to do? And what tasks would you rather have someone else do? If you could create systems that saved you 10 hours a week in your business, what systems would they be and why? The lead generation system is one of them, because if you're lead generating 3 hours a day, 5 days a week, and you create something automated that has lead magnets and a conversion program inside your database, and now you can start to run ads and use a system to do that, then you just cut your work week from 40 hours to 25, because that 15 hours, 3 hours a day, 5 days a week that was allocated to lead generation, you now have back. And that's how you figure out how to scale your business to the next level. And I want you to understand this. There is an opportunity now in this market to really start to prepare yourself for the next market. And those that take advantage of it are going to be the ones that not only make money in the next market, because when the market shifts, which real estate always does, you will make money. But the people that have their systems and infrastructure set up, they will make millions. There is a difference. Especially agents that look like me, 6 figures is not enough. Sorry, 250,000 is not enough. We need more money, resources to bring back into our community and really enact the change that we want to have. So here's what I want you to understand. I am just an advocate of the behind the business stuff. Understand that you are an employee of your business as a realtor, but you are a CEO of a Fortune 500 company, and I want you to treat your business like one, run it like one. Have the infrastructure just like Target, Starbucks, all of these big companies. They have an infrastructure on the back end that helps them run the front end. This is what you need to learn. If you are curious about what it looks like to be in the blueprint, I'd love to talk to you about the back end of your system. There is a link in here where you can just learn more about the blueprint program. If you want to just have a strategy call on lay out a plan on how to really navigate this space and put together a plan, and I can work with you through developing that on the back end, there's a link for a strategy call. But I want you to understand that the agents that have systems win repeatedly. A goal is not enough. Just because you want to make 100,000, that's not enough. The systems are what help you run and win repeatedly. And that's what I want to happen for you. So stay connected. All the resources that I'm giving you, if you go on my site, there are going to be other free courses to help you understand this stuff on the back end. But understand that there are always two levels to business. There's a front end and a back end. Most real estate transaction is on the front end, and that will cost you more time than you want to spend, and you will make less money. On the back end, it's systems, and then because there's systems, there is no limits. You're not limited by time, resources, or anything else. So hopefully you got some value out of today. I'm Keyla, the CEO of Real Estate, and I will see you in the next video.